Hello, everybody out there in TV land. I guess it's not TV, it's video land. Live video land. Okay, good. Just got my glues out and working. So I got these free on one of these sites, and it's gelato, these plastic jars. And I thought that I would fill them with bath salts, Epsom salts with smells, and then put a cute little top on it. And I was just learning how to get this off because it's not a label, and you use 100% acetone. So there's a tip if that's something you've been thinking about wanting to do, like everybody I know really wants to know. Well, now you do. Okay, let's see what we have going on here. To the left. There we go. And I see Nana is on the line, and I wonder if that makes Grandma too. Say hi, Nana. Say hi, Grandma. Grandma too. Say hi, Nana. Say hi, Grandma. Okay, so welcome. It's not quite time yet, but I still can welcome you. Welcome to the Crafty Basement. And we're going to be making a mystery card as every Monday. We had been at 7 o'clock. I'm thinking the time it will be changing to 7:30 because this is interfering with my husband's yoga. And he needs to be here so that he can help my mom and my mom-in-law make these cards with us. So anyway, today is also my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Erin. I don't think she's watching though, so that's okay. Look, we're not even at 7 o'clock yet. Okay, so what are you doing now, Colleen? Getting something out here. Well, I think it was Friday. Might have been Saturday. Probably was Saturday. Could have been Thursday. I don't even know what days there are anymore. That's what I get for being retired. Well, they had from our corporate office at Stampin' Up! A Pick 6 Wonder. And with this Pick 6, I want to let you know that they showed us how to bake, I don't remember, it might have been 14 cards out of, hold on a second, I took a picture of it so I wouldn't have to look for it, haha. So 1 pack of designer series paper, and basically you don't need the whole pack, and it's 6 by 6 pieces that you'll be working with, and I think it was 3 pieces of designer series paper 6 by 6, and you have to like both sides because I didn't know that and I didn't like both sides. So anyway, then 7 sheets of plain coordinating cardstock with those designer series papers you picked, a sheet of basic white or very vanilla, and then a greeting or a stamp set, ink pad and a punch and blah blah blah, and other things that you would want to creating. Well, I want to show you my cards because I'm so excited about them, because I'm thinking of possibly building a Christmas card class. Now this one, you know, you cut all the little pieces into the little cardstock pieces are up here, and you take that 6 by 6 and you chop it up into different pieces. And With this one, you fold them over and made the square. I popped them up on dimensionals and then added happy birthday to all these. I also here added cording, here ribbon, and here other ribbon, and then of course I added some bling to it. Ooh, there's no bling on this one. That's okay, it still looks good. And there's some bling on that. So there's one of the 3 cards. And then there was putting the pieces on the pieces on the cardstock. There was 3 rectangles, and I thought that here I did it crazy. I did it this way, so I didn't even put them in a line. And then here's another one. Happy birthday. You can choose. See, I chose different sentiments and different ways to put it in. Again, I put bling on here. Here I put ribbon on the back, but I didn't do a bow. So I thought that was cool. And if you notice, I used a white base and then just cut the coordinating colors. That's how I cheat and save. This one, you took your paper, you had 2 pieces left, and then you cut a heart out, and then you cut another heart out after you folded it in half. You folded it over so that you have all 3 of the designer series paper showing. And again, I added, because this was a little big, so I just added this to it. But here's 3 of the heart cards that came in here. And that was pretty weird, because if you look at that, I don't know, how do you define it? I thought I did my best. I like this one's the best. I added Wink of Stella to have that card stick out on that one. There is some Wink of Stella on here, and then there's that fun ribbon. Oh my God. Here I didn't wrap it, but I put little glue dots on here just to make it puffy. On this, I just added it to the top. Wrapped it around the inside. Okay, oh, dropped it in the ink. Okay, and then the last but not least, so that was 3, 6, 9, 10 cards, and then I guess I only made 13. So here's the other ones where you just took 2 rectangles and you took one side and the other. Then I put a piece of, she used more of the designer series paper to differentiate that hole there, but it was way too busy for me. So I just put coordinating cardstock just to separate the 2 designer series paper. And again, I've used different blings to dress that up. And be careful using that Memento ink, because somehow it didn't dry and I smeared it. But I think everyone would be happy to receive any kind of a handmade card. So I'm going to design some cards using Christmas paper and use that method, because I thought you'd get cute cards. We can choose the sayings, life would be good. And speaking of designer series paper, Stampin' Up! Has a special going on. Here's my host code, not that you have to buy, this is a free class. They have DSP 15% off, and they have, I believe, Beauty of the Earth is on there, not all of the DSPs. Then this fun plant one, which is like amazingly adorable, Bloomer You Were Planted. Not this one, because it's a specialty paper. This one here, the hand penned, which is absolutely delicate. I was gonna say gorgeous. It's not gorgeous, it's delicate. And then they have this big paper pack, which has all different kinds of backgrounds on it. And that is not 21, I think it's 15. But anyway, whatever, 15% off of 21. And then I believe In the Wild is on there, as well as the painted posies, except they're pansy petals. So In the Wild and whatnot. So designer series paper is 15% off. Okay, I still see 2 people here. Is anyone else here? Let me know you're here by saying hi. Hi, everybody. So I showed you my cards. that was it. So for tonight's card, we are going to need, I'm just seeing what time it is. 7:07. Okay, so for tonight's card, you're going to need a card base that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You're also going to need a card piece, a long card piece, and they're calling this the gift card piece. Oops, and Nana and Mom, I did not cut the bite out of here, but don't worry about it because you won't be gluing it down just yet. But you're going to score this at 3/4 and again at 5. So we're going to need that piece. That's the gift card piece. You need an inside layer. You're also going to need white cardstock, just a scrap for a sentiment on the inside. Oh, you know what? You may not need this. If you have white card insert, which I have, you don't need, you won't need the white cardstock for the sentiment, basically because she used a different color, and for that white to show up, she had to put the white cardstock there so she could put her sentiment on the inside. Well, I didn't do that. So, and the person I'm saying she, it was Leanne Greff, Greff, from Minoit, North Dakota, something like that. If you guys are from North Dakota, you'll know what I'm saying. But you're also going to need 2 pieces of DSP, one for the bottom, that's going to go like this, and that's measured 4 by 2 1/2. You're also going to need a piece for the upper part, and that's going to be vertical, and that's going to be 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. Oops, 3 1/2. Don't forget that half piece. I think my beginning measurements were 4 1/2. You don't need that much. Okay, then you're also going to need a vertical piece of cardstock. Here it is, 2 3/4, which is a little bigger than 2 1/2, and 3 3/4, which is again bigger than 3 1/2. Okay, then you're going to need, this is where this comes in, a scrap for your sentiment, and then a layer of cardstock that matches. I used this beautiful Pacific Point cardstock. So we are going to get started here. Are you ready? We are ready. So clue number 2. Using, oh, that should be, grab your, I didn't put that on here, but grab your base, this one here, and put it like this. Then you're going to take your glue and you're going to take your gift card piece. Here you have the bigger piece where the bigger fold is. Here's the smaller one. This is 3/4. You're going to fold that in, and you're going to adhere your glue. So Nana and Mom, this is where you're working on it. You're going to put your glue on that side of the 3/4 side. Then you're going to fold it down, and you're going to adhere it to the bottom of the card so that when you open this, you have that little flap here. So the glue is on this side. And again, I'll put more glue on since I dried it out. So you have it folded. You're going to put your glue here. Going to keep it folded. And you're going to take this edge here, which is has the fold line. You're going to put it up against this edge here. So you're going to meet it at the over at the side, and make sure that it's along the bottom, and then push down. Open it up, and you'll have that little, I don't know if you can see it, but you'll have the flap there, and the rest of it sticking out over this way. Hey, Karen, how are you? Glad you're here. Hope you have your card pieces to make this. How's your garden right now? Hope it's pretty cool. So the other thing next, after you get that piece adhered, Hey Mom or Nana, stamp on the floor so I know that you've caught up to us. My mom and my mother-in-law are upstairs doing the card in front of the TV, and my husband's not here. He's at yoga. Oh, good. Sounds like hear their feet rumbling. Okay, thank you. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your insert, your white insert, and you're going to glue it down on here. So I put a little bit of glue. Remember that this green glue, which is the Tombow Mono adhesive, Tombow Mono multi-liquid glue. I like the liquid because like here it's not exactly straight, so I push it over a little, and having the liquid glue makes it better. So now you have a card base with the insert glued on. For those of you who have liquid glue, and that does not mean Nana and Mama, you're going to add a little bit of liquid glue. It doesn't work well with tape runner glue, and mainly because once you put that tape down, sometimes the card will get stuck. So we'll do this later, Betty and Kitty. And you're going to push that down here. Now, if you had a gift card, it would fit right through here. But you think I remember that? Heck no. But again, you use the liquid so that when it dries instead of this would be getting stuck. So now you have that. You're going to close your, they call this a, yeah, be sure the base is vertical, meaning this way. Let me see what I have on clue number 3. Oh, I did. Open the card and adhere the liner to the card base. Then using a 1-inch punch, and in this case I used whatever punch I had, and I took a bite out of it. Mine was the Duo that I used last week, the Duo oval punch. But you can use any kind of punch as long as it takes a bite. Okay, punch a divot, you like that? I thought of golfing. And this will hold the gift card. Adhere the sides together using liquid glue. And then close your card and get your, then it says close your card, but I didn't put it on there. I said it. Whoa. Okay, clue number 4. You're going to take your larger piece of the DSP, the 4 by 2.5, and you're going to glue it down. Now this is 2-sided, and you could put that one down, but I really like that plaid. So I'm using the paper that came free in Celebration. I believe it was this spring. Could have been last spring, but I think it was this spring. So you're going to glue that down onto the flap, making sure you have a nice little border all the way around. So far, so good. Got this, and if we had money, it would be putting your gift card in here. Well, I guess it's not money if it's a gift card. You could fold up money and put it in there too, or you can fold up a check and put it in there too. I'll put that there just to show. Then you're going to close this and you're going to set it aside because we're going to work on another part of the card. Okay, oh no, look at all those things. Okay, you're going to take your, what was called the vertical piece of cardstock. I need new blades on my trimmer. You're going to take that as well as the smaller piece of DSP, Designer Series paper, DSP. And you're going to take this and you're going to glue it onto here. Decide whether you like the top or the bottom. It's not going to matter in our case because we didn't, well, anyway, we'll get there. So you're going to put glue on that piece and you're going to adhere this to the paper. And for those of us who are joining a little bit later, Ari's here and Brian, hi, and Karen. I've decided to change this from 7 o'clock, this mystery card, from 7 to 7:30. because my husband has yoga at 6 and he can't come back in order to help the Nana and the Mama. So Betty and Kitty. So anyway, so here we have this piece of paper and we have glued it onto the front. We're gonna turn that around. Oh, I didn't have that. Well, at this point, you're gonna need to decide what to do to decorate the front with. The original designer, who I told you her name is Leanne Greff, she punched out shapes and then popped them up. And then Ari, I know that I gave you things, and I gave you an umbrella. You could cut out that umbrella and then turn it around and put the pop dots or the dimensionals on there and then have it stand up here. I didn't want to just put a giant blueberry on the front of here. So what I did instead is I cut a smaller piece of, ooh, that's what that is. Here we go. I have this piece here, and I'm going to show you what I did. I took my white, you guys are going to see me stamp. I never do public stamping. Oh my God. So I think I told you before, I'm using a stamp set called Berry Blessings, and it was in the Celebration catalog. And I don't have, here they are. I have, this is two-step stamping for those who've never experienced that. You're gonna experience it now. I have two of these. I have an outline stamp, and then I have a solid stamp. So I'm going to take my outside stamp, and I'm going to make that into shaded spruce. And you say, why shaded spruce, Colleen? Because those are the colors inside. That's the green here. So I use the shaded spruce. And you're going to do this one full strength. So I just tap lightly to make sure that all of my, it's all inked up. Then I'm going over to my white piece, which I should really have darker here. I'll put this here. Okay, and I'm going to put this up at the top and have it come down. And Nana and Mama, you have yours done for you already. And there you have that. I'm going to peel this off. Then I'm going to take my solid color, solid stamp, it's not a color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up the stamp so that it's inked. Then I'm going to stamp off, like stamp it onto scratch paper. And what that does is make the second generation a little bit lighter. So if I did the same color going down, so it's the same color ink, but it's stamped off to a second generation. So watch what I do again. Well, I didn't do it yet. So I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it down on scratch paper, and then I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to fill in the leaves with color. Yay! Sorry, I get so excited with that. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it with blueberries. So I'm going to close that up. I'm going to grab my Pacific Point, which is the color that I used. Let's see if I can find those berries now. I have them. So again, I have a outline of the blueberries. I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to figure out where I want to put these blueberries. Kind of up in there. And that was my first generation. Then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to find the blueberries, which are here. I'm going to ink up. I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to color in my blueberries. So there I have the outline and the inside. That's two-step stamping because it takes you 2 steps to do it. I know you're all laughing hysterically out there now. No, you're not. So Ari and Brian drove from a little orchard down in southeastern Minnesota to Chicago, and they really were going to try to get back in time for this live, and it looks like they did. On my original, okay, so now we have, so this piece of cardstock is 2 inches by 3, and it's going to fit perfectly on here. What I did with the card that I made for practice is I ran this through the textured embossing folder to give it a cool look. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it onto my vertical piece of cardstock that we were talking about. Maybe we weren't. Okay. Okay, once I do that, and again, you could have punched out or cut out something from your designer series paper, like I could have sat there and cut out. I think you were here a couple weeks ago when I was doing the strawberries, and I had the strawberry paper and I cut out the strawberries off of the designer series paper. I just didn't feel like cutting out blueberries, so I did it this way. You can do it anyway. Also, she had used the ice cream punch, and it had the ice cream scoop, and it also had an ice cream cone, and she just dimensional that up. So that's what I did for mine. Now that you're making this card and finding how easy it is, you can do whatever. Clue number 6. You're going to take your piece of the vertical, the part that we're just working on. You're going to take your dimensionals. That's what these are. You're going to put 3 of them along the bottom. You don't want to put them on the top, because what you're going to do is you're going to put this in the middle here, and if you put dimensionals up here, you wouldn't be able to open your card. So basically you're going to, again, put dimensionals along the bottom, peel off those little things, then you're going to fashion it to your card, making sure you have the same amount of space on all those 3 spaces. There you have that part, and next you're going to see me stamp again. Oh, lucky you. So then we adhered that to the front of the card. Now we're going to stamp the sentiment onto a piece of scrap paper, or not scrap paper. Well, I guess it is scrap paper. It's just, in other words, you don't have to use a whole big sheet of paper like this. Just use a piece of scrap that you might have. Okay. I'm going to make my words in that shaded spruce again. And why do I do that? It's just because there's so much blue that I just want to bring more green out. So I have my scrap, I have my sentiment, and my sentiment says, wishing you the very best. Get it? Get it? Berry? We're using berries. Okay, I'm going to put it on my... You'll also get to see me struggle to cut a straight line with this. And the best way to do that is to make sure you have long scissors. Little scissors, make all this, and that's going to make a little ragged edge. So you're going to try to... I'm going to just try to make this as small as possible. So by starting at one end and not moving your... Oops, let me... And I learned that from somebody I watch on YouTube. Don't ask me who. Might have been my upline, Terry Gaines. Okay, and just lop off my edges. Oops, that was crooked. And sometimes you get it to be crooked. Okay, I'm going to take... Then it says stamp sentiment, and then cut to size. Then you're going to adhere it on your scrap piece of colored cardstock. Colored cardstock. And to save cutting time, I'm going to adhere it so that the bottom and the side here are equidistant or equal from each side. And then I'm going to follow the line that I have here. Cut that out. Now, of course, you could be fancy and use your different dies or different punches and do your sentiment and punch it out or roll it out. But this was just as easy for me. Okay, then it says to adhere to the colored cardstock and trim. use dimensionals on the back to pop it up. So I'm going to do that. For my the dimensionals on the back here. Oopsie, one left on that one. Okay. And then before I peel those, it says here, put it wherever it looks good. So like I could put it here. That's what it like there. You could put it up here, kind of here. But I'm going to just, ooh, see, now it's my first card that I made, my practice card, is right here. And I don't know if you can see the detail on here, but I put it through the embossing folder. I forget what it is. And it had a lot of white space on the bottom, so it looked really good there. But on this one, I didn't quite put it up in the corner as much. So if I were to put it on that white space, it'll be hanging off. So we're gonna have to find a spot for this. Probably just covering up that leaf there. And I hope you don't get offended with my next point. The next point is, okay, so there we go for that. Then it says to insert a gift card and send it to me. Ha ha ha, just kidding, don't do it. But I just thought that was funny. I couldn't help myself. So again, here it is. You have, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, which I finally did last week's card. I put it up on YouTube. And again, a place for your, remember that we're having Stampin' Up's having that paper sale. And for those who came a little bit late, which is just fine, they had a 6-piece wonder where you took, it's kind of like you take 3 pieces of designer series paper, in this case it was 6x6, and they cut it into different pieces and they made a bunch of cards. And I'd like to do something like this with the Christmas paper. Did I see that? I can't remember if I don't know, but these are a bunch of cards that I made with that, all different, kind of some of the same, some of them are different, but you make a whole bunch of cards. I'm thinking Christmas is always a good time to have cards, or Hanukkah, or holiday. So Tom really liked these best. So anyway, that's it for tonight, folks. I hope you had a wonderful experience, and I hope that you guys come back next week. It'll be at 7:30 instead of 7. And let me just quick see if I can see if that designer series paper and whether it included the Christmas paper, because I can order that and then we can use the colors in there and make some cute cards. And that'll probably be for July. Where is it? Go back to the front page and then go to designer series paper. This is and it doesn't look like the Christmas paper is on here. It's got the beauty of the earth, bloom where you're planted, hand penned in good taste in the wilds, pansy petals, sweets, tidings of Christmas. Yep, $9.78. And you're a peach. Oh, I didn't show those two in the catalog, which is nowhere to be found. First comes tools in the new catalog, and then comes paper. The designer series paper for me, as far as what I love the most. Stamps, Okay, so here on the other side, here's a peach. This is so cute. So that one, it will be on special. Here's the Christmas paper, Tidings of Christmas. Here is the Sweet Symmetry, is not that one because it's like got a lot of shiny in it. In the Wild, the Pansies. Believe it or not, this one is also, that's a great one for backgrounds and things and mail cards. Here's the penned one, not this one, but this one with the plants on it, which I think next time I'm going to be using that paper for the next live. And then the beauty of the earth. So anyway, Hope you enjoyed this. I'm signing out, and you guys have a wonderful night.